those, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud. We're able to provide you a mechanism to not only manage that on-prem environment, but also the cloud as well. So what is the biggest barrier for moving workloads to the cloud? Surprise, surprise, security. All of the service providers come to us and say, how can you help us move more workloads to the cloud? 12% of all of the workloads in the world, according to AWS, is in the cloud. So where's the rest of the 88%? So they really want help on moving more workloads to the cloud, because why? Because they make more money. So what's the problem? The problem is cloud is really, really complicated. So you got S3 buckets, EC2 instances, VMs, you got containers, and you got container stuff, and you got Kubernetes, and you got pods, and clusters, and nodes, and all that really cool stuff. Oh, by the way, then if you really are in containers, then you probably are using some other products like vulnerability scanners, right? So you got that stuff. Oh, by the way, all this stuff takes agents. And if you're really going to get creative, then you're probably looking at Istio or some service mesh technology. All of that complicates matters a lot. Oh, by the way, then you got security groups, IAM policies, all the stuff you need to mess with. Oh, by the way, you still got all this on-premise stuff you have to manage. Miss any of this stuff, you're front page news. What's the problem? Our customers are coming to us for many reasons, but the number one reason is I can't see what's out there. And you can't protect what you can't see. So the number one reason they come to us is, please show me what the heck is running out there in my cloud environment. Why can't they see it? Because traditionally, this is all they see in the network environment. So that's what Secure Cloud provides you. Number one, visibility. And number two, we'll show you how to take that visibility and create policy enforceable policy. So the problems are, you need to find out who's talking to who's talking to who has access to what connections are out there. Do you have security policy out there? Do you want to create security policy? Do you have any controls out there? Can you do I want to load more services out there. Can you help me with guardrails? How do I ensure compliance? Those are the things we're answering. That's what Secure Cloud brings to the table. So, immediately, once you fire Secure Cloud, it immediately pulls information directly out of the APIs. Guess what? We do not require you to load a bunch of agents everywhere. You already got enough of that stuff, so we don't create additional load. We pull directly from the API, so we get your ASG, your NSG, IAM policy information, and display it for you in an easy-to-use user interface. And now we can take a look at everything's running. Now you can take a look, should this be this way? Should I have this S3 bucket that has secrets actually tucked into the internet? Probably not a good idea. So now we can start implementing zero trust. I don't trust anything. I'm going to shut everything off until I actually know what I'm talking to. And now that thing that AWS and Azure comes to us, hey, how do I accelerate cloud adoption? If we can provide security on the front end before they're actually deploying in the cloud, that's what we want to try to do. And that's what Secure Cloud provides you. So, like I said, born and raised on the on-prem environment. Secure Track, again, gives you visibility of everything that's going on in your on-prem environment. Secure Change allows you to automate changes to those firewalls and those switches and those routers. Secure App, you can drive that from your application environment. Secure Cloud is an extension of this, being able to manage your security policy in the cloud. Oh, by the way, you can also drive changes from your cloud environment to your on-prem environment. We'll talk about that in a second. So again, entire network landscape. Look at all your environments. We work in VMware and ACI. We support all your clouds, whatever you're using, for the most part. And if you are in containers, using containers, we don't care what kind of Kubernetes flavor you're using. You can use vanilla, you can OpenShift, PKS, we don't care. By the way, you got to remember, Kubernetes runs not only in the cloud, but on-prem. It's okay, we support both. So, for you app dev people, so what's the main issue the app dev people do not want to talk to? Who's in security here? Everybody in security? Everybody in security? Why don't they want to talk to you? Because as soon as they approach them, they're like, oh God, they're going to talk to me about security. They're going to disrupt what I'm doing. I've already got a DevOps process. I've already got a tool chain. I don't want you guys messing with me. In fact, we are working with several companies that say, if you introduce something that disrupts my DevOps policy, that disrupts the automation that I have in place, I don't want to talk to you. We do not disrupt it. We become part of the process. We're streamlining the process. What happens when security gets visibility into the cloud and they see services that are unprotected, that have no security policy, or have too many open ports, or they have vulnerabilities? Pretty much go out there and kill them and go back to the dev guys and say, guys, you violated about 100 policies, you need to start over. What does that do to productivity? You can't do that. We're going to streamline the process. We're going to let them know before they deploy what policy violation is there and how to fix it. For the technologists, again, no agents. You already got stuff out there require agents. I love the term agent fatigue. We're not going to add to that. We pull all the information from the APIs. For cloud-native controls, and oh, by the way, fully API driven. Hey, we can show you some really cool screens and dashboards and all that, but hey, if you don't want to use any of that, run everything through our APIs. It's fine. So what do we provide? We're providing some really cool dashboards that give you an overview of an entire cloud environment, whether it's AWS or Azure. With the Kubernetes environments, do you have some vulnerabilities out there? Do you have way too many permissive accesses? Do you have some risky ports? Give you a really high level right off the bat as soon as you log in. And then from here you can drill down to maybe some of the things I need to take a look at. And what I say, number one reason that our customers come to us, visibility. Now I can actually go out, I will look at everything that's running out in the cloud, both in my public cloud environment and my Kubernetes environment, and I will tell you everything out there that's running. Who is it talking to? What's it talking to? What's the egress, ingress? What's going on with your cloud environment? And from here, I can start creating policy. In an SDLC environment, you certainly, when you talk about your test, dev, and staging, and pre-prod, prod, you want to have a solution that allows you to learn how those applications are behaving, who they're talking to, and how they're talking to, because they're going to load up services and containers and test those applications. You want to be able to watch all that. You want to be able to observe. You want to learn what it's doing, and then when you finally get to pre-prod, you want to go to production. How do you get everybody together to make sure you've got a policy? Show them this and make sure, hey, is this what you really intend to do as you go to production? If it is, now I can enforce that policy. So any net new services or containers that are introduced that were not part of that policy, you immediately get notified that you violated the policy, what policy you violated, and what you need to do to fix it. Completely automated. That's what Secure Cloud does. Now, if you actually want to see the product, you want to kick the tires a little bit, we got 2 workstations over here. We can actually show you how it works, talk to you about your particular use cases, and hopefully we can help you out on what you're doing for your cloud workloads. If you got any immediate questions, if you happen to